I'm sure you were pretty shocked to see who my husband is going to be, right? From my seat, I could see every little detail on your face as you realized just who I'd be getting married to. I'm way past being simply shocked, Freya. I'm in a panic. What the hell is going on here? Why are you getting married to Carson, of all people? I was just dating him 3 months ago before we broke up, right? And right after he broke up with you, him and I started to go out with one another. And that's why we are getting married now. Stop making it sound so easy. I was just listening to what others here have been saying about you two. You and Carson have been with one another for over a year now. What the hell do you mean you started a date after you broke up with me? That makes no sense when everything else is saying you've been going out for 4 times as long. Oh, no way. You really listened well to what everyone's been talking about. Tell me what is going on here right now, Freya. If it's really the truth that you and him have been dating for a year now, then that would mean he was cheating on me the whole time, right? Well, yeah. What everyone has been saying is the truth. I'm so sorry, Alina. This whole time, him and I have been sleeping with one another behind your back. That is unbelievable. You have been my best friend ever since middle school, Freya. How could you let him cheat on me with yourself? And now you're both going to get married? Come on now, this was bound to happen, right? You're so happy with one another, so of course we're going to get married now that you're gone. Can you just please be happy now for the fact that your best friend is getting married to your ex? What? We still have a lot of time at this wedding. There's also going to be the after party, right? I don't want you sitting around all gloomy like that, okay? You'll begin to scare the rest of the guests. Now I'm with Carson getting ready for everything. Can you please take a look in the mirror and practice putting on a smile again? Carson, what the hell is all of this? You have been cheating on me with my best friend that whole time? And now you're getting married to her. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Hey. Don't be so upset with me, alright? When it comes to us men, we always want to be married to the most pretty woman. Now to you two, Freya ended up being the most pretty.
What the hell? You think you can just get away with saying something like that? Do you not feel as though you've done something terribly wrong to me? You've lied to me this whole time about something so unthinkable. You have no right sitting around feeling as though you're in the clear now.
Huh? Think I've been lying to you?
Well, you said it to me like this. You said you'd be moving away for work, that we'd have to start a long-distance relationship. But you told me that you didn't like the idea of a long-distance relationship, and then you asked me to break up with you. And after I started to understand how I thought you felt, we broke up. But not even a half a year later, you're getting married to my best friend? What is going on here? What the hell happened to you leaving town for work?
You have a really good memory for understanding what all took place 3 months ago. About that transfer out of town. In the end, someone else ended up being elected to move. So I was able to stay in town and not move away.
Uh-huh.
I was really planning on breaking up with Freya as well, though. I hate the idea of having to do a long-distance relationship, and know I won't be able to last through it. But after breaking up with you, I just couldn't get myself to say goodbye to her. She's just too dang beautiful for me to turn away, but luckily, I ended up not having to leave town after all. So, after hearing that I wouldn't have to leave, her and I decided we needed to get married.
You literally love to lie to me about everything all the dang time, don't you? I know that the whole thing about you ever needing to move for work is a lie. All you really wanted was a way to getting rid of me, so that you could be with the woman you've been cheating on me with. Why can't you just tell me the truth from the start, instead of wasting all your time making up such weak lies?
Hey. But don't continue thinking everything I say to you is a lie. Especially when it could very well be the truth that I'm talking about.
You honestly don't know where to end with all your bullshit, do you? I can tell that no matter how long we talk about all of this, you are never going to come around to apologizing to me.
I think you should be asking for my forgiveness before an apology. So why'd you keep whining for me to apologize when you're the one who needs to apologize to me?
What?
Stop with all your whining and look at the reality of this situation, you loser. You caused quite the stir for the rest of my guests now by acting the way you did when you noticed that I'd be marrying your best friend. I want to apologize for all that before the end of the day, all right?
Putting on a smile again. Dang, you're still around here? I had assumed you were bawling your eyes out right now and on the run home. I'm not leaving this place just yet, Freya. You had asked me to stick around and give a speech for you today, even though I now know you as a backstabbing jerk. So even though I'm very pissed about the circumstance, I'm in. I'm still going to give that speech I promised. You really are a wonderful woman, aren't you? I've always hated how much you like to seem like you were this perfect, respectable woman. What? You were this very serious and smart girl who had even more friends than me. I can't even bear looking at you, being such the perfect girl, and that's why ever since middle school, I've hated you. I'm supposed to be more pretty than you, and I have all these men surrounding me. So why did you end up with more friends than I could ever make? It doesn't make any sense. I should have everyone asking to be my friend because of my beauty, yet everyone flocked to an ugly mess like you. It doesn't make sense that you ended up being the popular one. No sense at all. Oh, wait a second, Freya. What? Haven't you and I always been really close friends? How could you have been thinking of me that way all this time while acting as though you liked me? I've been faking it. All this time, I've hated your guts. Are you kidding me? Not at all. You're just some ugly little whore who should have never ended up with a single girl wanting to be your friend. But you seem to do the unthinkable and attract all these friends. So I thought I'd do the same and do you by becoming your friend as well. By having you on my side all the time, I'd look even more attractive to the guys, and I'd be able to make just as many friends as you. I may have looked like I was having the time of my life with you, but on the inside, it felt as though I was rotting away. Rotting away? You felt all that way all along then? I can't believe this. You can't? If I was just kidding about all of this, then I would have never stolen Carson from you. You're still not going to believe that I hate you, even after having this wedding to your ex? But ever since middle school, you and I have ever been together through everything. We were always in the same class together, and would always do sports together and everything. You're going to tell me now that it was all a lie? I'm sorry, but this was all in fact a lie. Ever since 7th grade, I have hated every single thing about you. What? Did you just say 7th grade? Did I ever do anything then to piss you off? You sure did. Everything you did pissed me off and hurt. The fact that an ugly whore like you could hurt me in so many ways really infuriated me. What? I will forever remember the year as being the worst year of my life. I was just starting to fake being your friend and became this popular and wonderful queen. But when I went to Jacob, who was in class above us and the class president for his grade, he rejected me when I confessed my love to him. Do you want to know what he told me, the most beautiful person in that school? He told me that he didn't want to be with a girl who put so much makeup on her face. He said it was not healthy for me to do that. And that was not all, though. After that, he told me to learn a thing or two about you, being healthy, since you were my best friend and didn't use any makeup. Why the hell would he say something like that to a natural beauty like me? Why should I have to learn a dang thing from you about being healthy? What's wrong with me using makeup to make myself look even more sexy? What? Can you hang on for a second? All of that has nothing to do with me. Huh? I never knew that you confessed that you liked Jake and Tim back then. And since he's older than you, I'm sure he was just saying that to try and help you out. But if you're going to get mad about what he said, don't get mad at me. Shut the hell up, Ugly. You're the ugly whore here, so you take responsibility for what he said. What? Ever since 7th grade, on the day he said that to me, I have absolutely hated everything about you. You were already far worse than me by having an ugly mug like that one by you back then. But now that we've become adults, I can see you don't even have the same strength as me to keep a man you love by your side. I am the most strong woman when it comes to men, and I should be praised for such a thing now. Yet for some reason, you still think you can do better. Well, I'm going to bury you for thinking that. You're never going to be as good as me, because I'm now getting married to a man who works for one of the largest companies in the state, and I was able to do all of this by stealing him from you. So wait, you took him from me because you thought I was trying to be better than you? You stole Hunter from me because you're so upset with me over something that just happened back in middle school? Go screw yourself. All I had to do was show Hunter a little bit of what I'm about, and he stuck to me like a leech. I'm sure you thought you were going to continue being the best, but you're no match for a woman with my looks and strength. All you are is another one of those pigs that tries to make themselves out to be more human. You ugly whore. You're never going to win against a most sexy woman ever. Wow. Men are always going to go for the best looking, and it really didn't take much to have Hunter. I hope you don't hold any of this against me, because all of this beauty is natural. Now, I'm going to get back at you for all those years of you thinking you were better than me, by marrying him and being the perfect wife he's always been wanting. In this world, beauty means everything, and I was lucky enough to be born pretty. I don't even have to try for anything I want anymore, while you have to work your butt off to get even one guy. Now, you ugly whore. I was the one that left Carson though, Freya. What? As of right now, I have no feelings for Carson, and I haven't had any for a long time now. I was actually really happy to see you both getting married. But what I've just heard from you really has me feeling off right now. You stole my boyfriend from me, all because I'm too ugly to have things. Well, that doesn't make any sense, because I was the one that told him to leave. And right now, you're getting married to a man who was thrown away by someone you're calling ugly. Uh-huh. Don't think you can talk to me like that when I know the truth. You're the one who was thrown away by him. I'm not going to believe for a second that you're the one with enough power to let go of Carson. From what you've heard, the reason for us breaking up is due to him being moved out of town for work and him not wanting to do a long-term relationship. But even then, before we started to talk about that, I was pretty much over the guy. He'd already been lying to me about things for a long time, and that lie was about having to leave town was the lie that broke my feelings for him entirely. And that's why, after he told me to break up with him, I agreed and didn't even ask any time to ask for him to stay. I knew he had another woman he was cheating on me with, so there was no way he was actually leaving town for work. It was so annoying having to listen to him go on about that huge lie when I already knew the truth, especially when I also knew about his wife and child. What? What wife and child? Uh-huh. Carson had always been keeping so many things from me for so long during our time together, but no matter how many times I tried to confront him about them, he'd just go on about some other lie. Wait a second, Alina. What the hell do you mean he had a wife and child? Are they still around? Today him and I are going to get married. We are in the middle of that very wedding right now. So how the hell does he have a wife and child when he wants to get married to me? Right? You have no reason to believe that he has a wife and child right now, as you're supposed to be getting married to him right now. So in order to help clear things up for all of us here, I got in touch with his wife about the wedding. What? I told her that the woman he had been cheating on her with is going to marry him today. And she replied by saying she'd be coming here right now. And even with that, she even said that in my place, she'd be giving the speech for you guys. So you can prepare yourselves for when she gets here, and I'll find myself out now. What? Wait a second, his wife is coming right now? Really? And wait, you're going to leave us at a time like this? Well, come on now. I don't want to continue watching this wedding between the man that cheated on me and the woman who faked being my friend all this time. It's making me want to vomit. Had you never asked me to give a speech today, I would have left a whole lot sooner. What? Now you and Carson have a wonderful wedding. I really hope this turns into the perfect wedding you've been wanting.
Hey, Alina. Since when did you find out about me having a wife? I did everything in my power to keep all that a secret from you. You're never supposed to be able to find out about her.
A few months ago, you came back to the house all drunk off your butt, right? At that point in time, I got a good look at that ring on your finger.
What?
You had told me you were going on a small business trip out of state, right? But it turns out you were still in town that night and had been drinking with a partner of yours from work. After you came home, I saw that ring on your finger and knew something was wrong. So to find out what was going on there, I looked into your work and things like that.
You did?
I never thought that the company had always been working for Maine's office, what was out of state. Man, I'm so sorry, Carson. You weren't wrong about the business trip for you. Rather, you had it all backwards. You had actually come out to the smaller office in town where I had been living, and that's why it seemed like you were working there the whole time. Oh, I cannot believe that all I needed to do was look into what company you were working for, and I would have figured all of this out a lot sooner.
Wait.
Ever since you and I had first started dating, things fell off. Whenever I talked to you about marriage, you always seemed to change the topic and made it seem like you weren't going to be around for a long time. And that day, you came in drunk as hell with a wedding ring on. You started talking about how the house wasn't the way you remembered it before you came to and realized I wasn't your wife at all. Then you took off your wedding ring and left the house again for the night, leaving me speechless. At that point, I knew something was completely off, and that's why I looked into what was going on with you.
But this doesn't explain to me how you found out my wife's phone number. I heard a lot from Freya already. You texted my wife and told her to come to this wedding today?
Well, that's because I had to tell your wife about what was going on here.
What?
When you and I had finally broken up 3 months ago, I thought the right thing to do was tell your wife what was going on. I felt bad for her, because I had never known you were married to her before dating you, and I wanted to say sorry for all of that. I planned on letting her know the truth, and wanted to tell her that she was 100% in the right to ask for a settlement from me.
What?
But your wife turns out to be a very understanding person. She told me she won't hold me responsible for anything of what happened, and forgave me. She just asked I give her all the evidence I could of you and I have dated while you've been married to her. I guess she's totally fine with forgiving me, but she's not feeling that same way about you, Carson. And that's why, for your wedding, I made sure to let her know the time and place, and that she could come when she was ready.
Wait. What do you mean she's not going to forgive me?
I'm not really sure myself what she's planning to do with you, but I know for a fact that forgiving you isn't a part of her plan. I just got a text from her. She just got it into town and will be getting at the wedding here shortly.
What did you say?
Now have fun with the remainder of your wonderful wedding. I'm heading home now. There's no way any of this could actually be happening. Everything is awful. Why do I have to deal with all of this right now? I hope you had a great wedding. How was it? Did you have the best time of your life with Carson and his wife? Not at all. We weren't even able to finish the wedding because it had to be cancelled. His wife actually came to the wedding and she brought her full wrath along with her. The whole wedding turned into a raging storm and not a single person was safe from her anger. Well, look at that. The wedding you had been so happy about turned into a living hell for you. Right after that, I had to go and talk with her and everything, and I was told that if I just kept my mouth shut around you, none of this would have happened to me. Had I never told you what happened, then you would have never gone to her and let her here. Now my whole future with Carson is gone. Even my parents are aware of what's happened, and now know about how I stole Carson from you. Because of you, my mom came up to me and slapped me so hard, and the right side of my face is bruised. What? You're telling me that your mom, the one who always such a happy and smiling face, slapped you that hard? I'm sure that to you, being someone with so many friends, everyone's parents like you and treat you so well. But to me, their own daughter, they are not that all nice. Especially my mom. My mom has always liked you being my friend, which drove my hate for you even further. So after learning how I stole your boyfriend from you, after having let him cheat with me, she was just as pissed as Carson's wife. I can't believe it. Your parents were so upset with you because how much they love me. That's not all, though. That wife has no plans of divorcing Carson, even after what happened this day. That's why she was laughing so much in my face yesterday, while telling me I needed to give up on being with her husband. What? She's not going to divorce Carson. She told me they have a child together, so she can't divorce with him that easily. But that wasn't her only reason. She also said that if she left him, he'd be able to marry me, and she didn't want either of us to be happily married to one another. So she's never going to divorce him. I see. It's usually the case the wife would want a divorce after being cheated on twice like that. I was thinking that would be the end result here. She has no right keeping him away from me. That wretch! How can she just sit there keeping him as her ATM? Was she not satisfied with the fact that he'd be paying child support to her in the divorce? What does she think she's doing? She doesn't even love Carson anymore, yet she won't let them get divorced? What a jerk! The only jerk I'm aware of is Carson. What he was doing was cheating on his wife when he has a child with her, and then cheating on the woman he was cheating on his wife with? I've gotta say, I respect her for not going right for a divorce after all that. This is not a joke, you idiot. What the hell do you mean you respect her? She is the worst witch on this earth with the most toxic freaking soul. And not only that, but she's both older than me, and she looks even more ugly than you. Yet she told me that I should be paying you a settlement after all of this. What? She wants you paying me? I had thought the whole time that Carson never had a wife, and you were his only partner. So I was 100% certain that stealing him from you would never result in me having to pay for anything. But that wasn't the case, and my parents both tore me a new one explaining all of that to my beating red face. They told me I need to pay his wife money for having tried to marry her husband. But she told me that I'm not to pay her, but to pay you instead for what I'd done. Then everyone, my parents, Carson's wife, and even some of the guests agreed that, and settled on me having to pay you, of all people. Wow. Well, that's just some of the best news I've had all year. I'm not playing around, you ugly whore. I was supposed to become the wife of an elite businessman. I've never saved up any money because I believe I'd get easy life of being a housewife for the rest of my time on this planet. I don't have any way of being able to pay you anything. You don't? You and I have been best friends for a long time, so you shouldn't need any money from me in order to be forgiving, right? All of those people are just being crazy right now and don't understand that you and I are the best buds. It's not like I'm going to be able to marry your ex anymore now, right? Who the hell do they think they are telling me what to do and what not to do now? I'm not listening to crap from that big-mouthed old witch. Hey, Freya. I'm with Carson's wife right now. What? And this whole time, she's been watching what you've been sending over me. She's been going on about how it doesn't seem you've learned your lesson at all yet. And her facial expressions are very scary right now. What? Wait, why? Why are the both of you together right now? Well, her and I have been talking about what to do next with you and Carson. And while we've been talking about that, we've been going through all of the evidence of you and Carson being a thing, as well as doing our best to get every little bit more out of you.
What?
She's been telling me about how she understands why you feel you don't have to be punished for anything that happened here. But she also wants to make sure you learn your lesson and never act like such a selfish and ignorant woman again like you've been with me. However, what you've been saying about the two of us shows that you have not learned anything so far. So she is going to do her very best to make sure you pay every cent you have to me. And she'll be doing by spreading everything she's learned about you to everyone she knows, even though she doesn't know.
Wait, you stop that! What does she think she's doing now? She doesn't even live around here. Why is she going to try and ruin my life like that when she's in a completely different state most of the time? If she starts talking poorly about me now, that news is going to spread fast. There's no reason to do something as heartless as that to me.
Well, if you pay up, then she'll keep her mouth shut and not say anything else.
So my only option now is to pay you.
Well, I'll be waiting to you to pay me the amount I've asked for. I'm going to leave the choice of what to do next on your shoulders, but just to be on the safe side, I'll send you my bank information. After that, I received $10,000 I had asked for Freya directly into my bank account. I'm not really sure how she had money to do with that so quickly, but I'm going to assume she had sold a lot of her things to get the money. Also, due to prior feelings they already had for their daughter, Freya's parents used what happened here to disown her for good, and pretty much all her friends that were at the wedding left her. All of them left her with a final message saying people like her don't deserve friends and are better off staying single for good. As of right now, she's been working a job to save up as much money as she can to make up for the $10,000 she gave to me. And while she's been at it, she's gone around looking for men that will one day marry her. However, when asked what her hobbies are and the kind of work she does, the only answer she can give is that she's pretty and would one day like to be a housewife. This doesn't sit well with any of the men, and most tell her that beauty doesn't last forever, so she's going to have to find another way to make herself worthwhile for them. When it comes to Carson and how things went for him, he was forced to go back home with his wife, and there he is working at the main office in order to keep the money flowing for his wife. Most of the money goes right to his wife, and the only thing he gets each month is $100 to use on whatever he'd like. And his wife tells him every day that once their kid turns 18, then she'd allowed him to divorce her.